all, I'd like to welcome you to SWK 380 for the fall 2017. What I'm going to utilize this brief video recording is to provide an overview of our course, the course content, and some of my expectations as well as how I anticipate that our course will operate for the next 14 weeks, and what you can expect from me, and how best for us to work together. First off, the best way to get a hold of me is by email. If you open up the control folder, open up Blackboard and look at the control folder on the left, I provided a link so you can directly link on that, and that'll send me an email. I'm more than willing to also meet with you virtually. I provided a Google Hangout account again on the left, as well as a Zoom recording, so we can meet virtually, and we can meet in the evening, during other weeks, other days, or on the weekend. If it's important to meet or better for you to meet in person, my office is located in Corbett Hall, room 243B. Now that's Corbett over by Dunn and Wells Commons, so I'm also very willing to meet with you there. So any way that works for you in terms of us working together and enabling you to better understand the course material. As you notice, this course is the biological person in the environment, and part of what the intent is with this course is to have us look at the interaction between human physiology and biology and what happens with us both within our internal environment, or the interaction of the multiple systems that we'll look at, as well as influences that might happen to us based upon where we live, how we live, issues around age, issues around life experiences, those full range of interactive impact in terms of our physiology and the environment. So to that end, how I set the course up, aside from this week, which is an introductory week, we'll look at the human biology as an overview. The other weeks we're going to be breaking it down into looking at a system, followed by an application of system, or some readings that relate to health professions, social work, human services, in terms of how we can utilize that information about the system in our work with individuals, communities, groups, whether we're thinking about micro practice or macro practice, but the interface between a human's biology and physiology, including our biology and physiology within our environment. Within the applications, we'll also be looking at issues around health and wellness. Well, more commonly when we think of biology and physiology, we sometimes think about it in terms of diagnosis, or what goes wrong, or what happens when something, quote, goes wrong, and I'm using that in quotes. But also we're going to be talking about how do we influence positive health and wellness. What are the issues that we need to think both for our lives and the lives of the people that we work with as we move through the range of experiences that we do to maintain kind of optimal health. To that end, if you look at our syllabus, and I provided a link on both our PowerPoint that you'll watch later today, as well as clearly on Blackboard, and open that up. I'm not going to read through or go over the course description. Certainly you can do that, and or the course objectives. Certainly you can do that. If you have questions about either of those, I'm more than willing to meet with you, to talk with you again, whether we do it virtually, do it on a typical telephone, or in person. Let me know what works the best for you. But part of the intent of this is, how do we understand from a human services perspective, or health perspective, or social work perspective, in terms of what happens to our physiology, the physiology and the biology of others over time. So whether we're thinking about it in terms of youngster in primary school, ourselves in undergraduate school, or perhaps as we age, what might we expect? What might be the things that we could anticipate that we need to be aware of? How can we enhance the probability or potential that we're going to move through life's experiences with positive or strong health and wellness? What do we need to do to kind of get back on track should there be an occasion where we get knocked off track, or we're never on track in the first place? What do we need to do? So that's our application piece. And so for that, in terms of how we're going to move through with the readings, we have an assigned text that will cover the material for specifics about uh, say the endocrine system or the sexual reproductive system. The weeks for the application, for the most part, I've provided you with a variety of shorter readings that are noted on the course syllabus, either with a URL link. If the URL link is not there, then the other location for those readings is in the control panel. You'll see readings and resources. And so if you click on there, that'll open up the PDF and you can go to it that way. If you have any questions or concerns about or difficulty accessing the readings, please let me know. Now, the other thing to alert you, if you've not used Blackboard before, it at times can be a little tricky, but kind of basic questions about how the technology works if you need assistance. On Blackboard, I've included on our home page links that will take you both to assistance in terms of for Blackboard as well as IT. So please use those resources should you get stymied at any point along the way in terms of the technology. If links that I provide for you are broken or not working, please let me know and I can provide correction for those. They have all been checked out as of today, so they are all working. Now, let's go initially through my expectations. If you look back to the syllabus, you'll see the readings that are due for that week. Like as example, for this particular week, there are two readings: the Cohen chapter, which is the organization of the human biology or human body, and a Gilson reading. Reading both of those, and the Gilson reading is going to provide you. That's a chapter that I wrote for an HBSE text. That'll provide you with a general sense of the depth of material and how we're going to think about that material over the course of the next 14 weeks in terms of the application of that material to a variety of human experiences. So, and typically what I'm asking you to do is to do the reading and then post a summary. This is assignment number 1, a summary, which is a paragraph of review, key points from that reading, and any questions that you might have about the reading, that system, to that. And that goes to assignment 1. Since I'm posting our lectures, we'll post them tend to be on Sundays, later in the Sunday afternoon. I'm going to use any questions that you might have for part of that, my response, or part of the lecture there. So if you have any serious questions that I don't quite get, please post those and I'll respond to those. If everybody seems to get all the material and I don't need to review that, that's fine as well. But so your assignment number 1 is your summary that you do weekly, and it's due Sunday by 5 p.m. Now the other part, if you'll notice, is I've placed you into groups, arbitrarily placed you into groups, and these groups will serve a couple of things. They'll serve as a way of acting as a small group that you might have in a typical classroom. And to that, what I'm asking you is first about assignment 2 and then ultimately assignment 3. With assignment 2 is your response to the questions. I have an IGQ that I'll have on each one of the PowerPoints, and that's your question for the week about that. So post that to ultimately assignment 2 will take to your study group. And then I'm also asking that you read the other postings of your classmates and provide a response or questions that you might have. And not just I liked or disliked, but give an explanation of your reaction or your response to that. Further, in terms of, for those are assignments 1, 2, and 3. The other assignments, and these are all at the bottom of the schedule of events or what we're going to be doing. Assignment number 4 is self-assessment quizzes. Now, each week, or not each week, periodically throughout the semester, I'll post a number of self-assessment quizzes, and these are ways that we can understand. You can gauge how you're understanding the material. For assignments 1, 2, and 3, they're going to be graded on timeliness and completeness, not an ABCD grade of correct answer, not correct answer, but did you complete the assignment? Is it thorough? Is it timely? Is it posted on time? For the self-assessment quizzes, they are going to be graded either completed or not completed. They are used as a vehicle for you to help kind of prepare for when we come up to our midterm. And so midterm is going to be the assignment number 6, and our final exam is assignment number 7. What you'll notice is, and I jumped over this rather quickly because we'll come back to it later on, is assignment number 5. This is a small group assignment, so over the course of the semester, you'll have a chance to get to know each other. I'm going to ask that you form a small group, and then if you look, you'll select a particular population, and really it's applying the information from the co-text as well as from my writing as we try and figure out what we're going to do. Now, I'm also going to ask that you could form your small groups yourself, and you can use the Google Hangout as or Zoom or you can meet in person to figure out who's going to do what part of this small group assignment. And again, it's asking you to do an assignment, the small group of 2 to 3 to 4 people at the most. We'll talk a little bit more about that and how that's going to work with this class, which is, as you know, all asynchronous and online. And what that means is, with our class, is that for the most part, you can go on and look at our information, look at the readings, look at my lectures at 3 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just asking that you respond to the assignments on time in a timely manner and complete. So doing that, you'll do well. Again, the issue, if you have questions at all about how our class will operate, what we're going to do, please send me an email. I'll come back from time to time, of course, the semester with another video lecture. But for the most part, each week, what you'll do is I'll post an MP3 file with a PowerPoint that may have some other links in it. I've linked some TED Talks, or perhaps at times some music videos that relate to the information. And so our weekly stuff is going to be the PowerPoint and the MP3 file that I will post again on the control panel on the left side where kind of weekly sessions. Anyway, that's pretty much a quick overview of the assignments for our semester, how we're going to work in terms of the readings. If you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know, and I'll talk to you soon in terms of our overview of human biology, the Cohen chapter, as well as my chapter. Take care now. Have a good night.